next panelist is Nancy Gianni. Nancy Gianni is the founder and chief belief officer of Gigi's Playhouse. She is Gigi's mother. When she received the diagnosis that Gigi had Down syndrome, the negative reactions of the medical staff and her fears overwhelmed her. But Nancy soon realized that Gigi could do the very same things that her other children do. Nancy now leads the only international network of Down syndrome achievement centers in 61 locations across the US and Mexico. Nancy is also an author and motivational speaker. She's the founder of the Generation G, a human rights movement aimed to change how society views all disabilities and make the world a more generous, kind, and accepting place for all. Nancy, welcome. You have the floor. You have to press the button.
Oh my goodness. She had me going there. I'm sweating over here. Just seeing her come to this point and speaking for herself means everything to me, and I appreciate the kindness of everyone who's here today and took the time to listen to her. I'm so proud of you. Thank you to CFAM, the United Nations, and everyone who is here today. And thank you to Gigi for sharing your story and telling the world why you belong here. 22 years ago, when my daughter Gigi was born, I had no idea she was going to change the world. But actually, when I look back on it, God had given me many signs that she would indeed change the world. Before I found out I was pregnant with Gigi, I became extremely outspoken, to the point of almost losing a client for my husband and friends for myself. I wondered why I was on this moral high horse and why I thought I deserved to be there. Then I found out I was pregnant. Excitedly, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this child already has a voice. My baby is going to change the world. I remember telling my husband, this baby's going to be the president or a world leader. She is already morally present and making me stand up for what is right from the womb. I guess I should not have been surprised when she was born with Down syndrome. At her birth, I was blindsided by her Down syndrome diagnosis and petrified for my family. The celebration was gone, and I was met with only condolences. They took good care of me medically, but they didn't have eye contact with me anymore, and they kept sending in the clergy. At one point, I asked if she was going to die, because that is what their reactions felt like. My biggest fear was, how would I explain this new life, this negativity about their beautiful sister, to my other kids? Once we got home and started living this new life, we saw that she was more like my other kids than she was different, and we wanted her celebrated. We wanted to take away the negativity of a Down syndrome diagnosis and show the world the tremendous potential individuals with Down syndrome had. But how would I do that? Then came the promise. When Gigi was 6 months old, I was carrying her to bed one night, and I could feel the weight of her low muscle tone, a weight she carries around every day, but you would never know existed due to her never-ending determination and the constant smile on her face. As I laid her in the crib, I made a promise to her that I would change the way the world saw her and all of her friends with Down syndrome, that I would help people see that they were so much more than just a diagnosis. That was it. I made the promise, and now I had to make it happen. I searched for a place to do that and realized it didn't exist, and that I was going to have to build it. That is when Gigi's Playhouse was born. Gigi was only a few months old and fresh out of open heart surgery. I remember working tirelessly to overcome every obstacle put in front of me, only to be afraid to open our doors. Was the world ready for us? Who was going to come? I knew my mom and my dad would show up and possibly some neighbors, but I never imagined over 1,000 other people were also looking for the change I was trying to create. I wanted to create a place for families that I didn't have when Gigi was born, a place full of hope and empowerment, a place where Gigi and her friends would be celebrated and where my other kids in the community could learn about Down syndrome in a positive way. A place where a scared new mom, a grandma, or a family can go to find hope, to find tools, resources, free programs, and other people who were just like them. Where families can be together so they can feel like they belong in a world that felt as if it wasn't meant for them. A place in the community that celebrated differences and didn't hide them away from the world. Fast forward 21 years, and today we have 66 Gigi's Playhouse locations and startups throughout the United States and Mexico, providing hope, free programs, and empowerment. We serve both inner cities and rural areas. Our online virtual Playhouse now is serving families in 93 countries across the world. And thanks. And we are doing one-on-one tutoring in literacy and math on 6 continents. We have hundreds of inquiries to open more GiGi's locations worldwide. Today, we facilitate over 6,500 hours a week of free therapeutic and educational programming to our participants. That is over 340,000 free program hours a year. Thank you. Everything from free one-on-one tutoring in literacy and math, free speech therapy and physical therapy-based fitness programs, social, emotional, nutrition, and career programs. GiGi's is here for our families every step of the way. From prenatal diagnosis through career skills, we make a lifetime commitment to our families. I think what I'm most proud of is that 21 years later, GiGi still operates like an entrepreneurial startup. We are a $37 million not-for-profit that gives everything away for free. Every consultant said it couldn't be done, but we're doing it every day. Thank you, God. That's a God thing. Also, we receive no government funding. All of our work is funded by private donors. Clearly, a higher power is guiding GiGi's Playhouse mission. And GiGi and I are literally blessed to be sitting in the driver's seat saying, God, where are you taking us today? And today we're at the United Nations, so look at that. Woo! People with disability are the largest marginalized group in the world, but have the smallest voices. This is where we all need to step up. We need to give them a voice and show the world the army of people who support and protect them. Every single one of us is seconds away from being different or loving someone who's different. It could happen with a simple fall off of a bike, the birth of a new baby or grandbaby, or a debilitating illness. Differences do not discriminate, and they truly are seconds away. Don't we want to live in a world that accepts us all? Down syndrome is not a disease and there is no cure. It is not going away. In fact, right now, we are living amongst the first generation of individuals with Down syndrome living to retirement age. Retirement age, in the 80s, it was only 25. They're now living to retirement age. But by the age of 54, 90% of them will get Alzheimer's. 90%. We need to keep their brains and their bodies active, and that is exactly what GiGi's does, and it's why our programs are so important. Our GiGi University philosophy of confident you, healthy you, whole you is changing lives and saving lives every day and leading our adults on a path to independence. GiGi's has spent 21 years getting our kids ready for the world. Now we need to get the world ready for them. Today, our kids are still segregated in their schools, innocent victims of abuse, bullied, not eligible for organ transplants, and many are not even able to be born. Unlike other groups, our children have no protection under the laws against discrimination and hate crimes. Currently, these crimes must be based on race, religion, ethnicity, nationality, gender, sexual orientation, or gender identity. They cannot be based on a person's disability. Why not? We need to change that. Let's give a voice to the people who have the most to teach us in life. Thank you. I remember last fall, the Sunday that GiGi and I returned home from the opening of our 60th location in Simi Valley, California. I was on a high after seeing hundreds of families find their new home in GiGi's Playhouse, Simi Valley. Plus, I got home early enough to spend some time with my other kids, and of course, GiGi had to make up for her missed date night, and she went out bowling with Lucas. While finally relaxing and sitting at the dinner table, I got a text from GiGi saying the boys in the lane next to us are calling us retards and making fun of us. My heart sank. Not 24 hours ago, we opened the 60th GiGi's Playhouse location, and this hate and bullying is still happening. It's days like that when I think this is just too much for me, that I want to give up or just take a break. And then I remember that GiGi does not get to take a break from her diagnosis. No one does. People who are different cannot shed that differentness at the end of the day. They must struggle constantly for acceptance, and that is why I will never stop fighting for them. That is why GiGi's Playhouse fights for them, and I'm so grateful everybody in this room is fighting for them. But try as we might, there's a new fight. It is a fight against intolerance. A learned intolerance brought on by designer babies and countries who continue to try to eradicate Down syndrome, to simply not allow our kids to be born. With actions like this, the newer generations often think that people with disabilities don't have a right to be here, that they are disposable. With a 90% worldwide termination rate, you can see why people think this. These families are scared of the diagnosis and have outside influences who are telling them there is no value in our kids. I remember when one of our moms refused to terminate the pregnancy. her geneticist said to her, "I do not expect my dumb dog to come in from out of the rain. What do you expect this child to do?" Other families have been told, "This child will ruin your other kid's life." How ironic, because I could not have made my other kids the amazing people they are today without Gigi. Most families are given no hope, and some are told their kids will never walk, talk, or even live a normal life. And that's today. This is still happening. Though I have to say, some people in the medical community are really trying and sending positive messages. We even have med schools that do rotations at different Gigi's Playhouse locations. That is truly a gift from God, but we need more of that in our schools, our universities, our world. Last month, a 13-year-old sibling named Sarah Kate spoke at our national gala. She had recently learned about the abortion rate for mothers carrying a child with Down syndrome and wrote a report about it in school. She could not believe doctors do not want people like her sister to be born. Why? Why didn't they see the love and beauty of her amazing little sister? Why don't they provide hope? She said the world needs to see her sister's gifts and the gifts of people of all abilities. Gigi's Playhouse is a place where siblings like Sarah Kate can find their voice. A place for a pregnant mom who just found out her unborn child has Down syndrome. A place for a new parent who just received the diagnosis. A place for siblings to meet other siblings and know they are not alone. A place for a child to learn to read, to walk, to talk. A place for an adult to learn career skills. A place for volunteers of all ages to learn and grow. A place where corporate America could learn and teach the value of acceptance. A place where medical professionals can learn and gain perspective to fully understand the true value of a life. A place for sharing, a place for caring, a place for learning, a place to show the world we are here and we are proud. Gigi's Playhouse, it's a place to call home. And I'm blessed and honored to have told you all about Gigi's Playhouse today, to see how we can help anybody in any other countries. We're serving in 93 of the different countries, but we need to be doing more. Clearly, there's a lot more work to be done, and we're just here to say that we want to share our platform with you, and we want to truly continue to change the world for all these different places and these amazing people on this panel. So thank you guys all so much. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Nancy. I don't think there's a dry eye in the room here.